Hello, I'm Michael Gibson. Welcome to the second season of How to Get Back in Shape After 30 Years Off on the Trombone. In the second season, we are going to have an additional 8 more years because the last time I recorded a lesson was in 2018, I think in June 2018. A lot of life has happened since then. Oh, check this out. Yeah, here we go. And I'm basically starting over again. So now it's how to get back in shape after 38 years off playing the trombone. We had to move from California all the way to Wisconsin. Now we are living in a wonderful house that my dad built back in 1990. It's a great place, and now I have an entire basement for my video studio. So this is going to be called Series 2, and how to get back into shape after 38 years off. And you're now going to have a new look and hopefully a little more fun and a little more interest. I'm trying to get back in shape again so I can join a local symphony and or a local band or both. I still love playing the trombone, and I'll bet you do too, or you wouldn't be watching this video. Just a quick interruption to this introduction of Series 2 of How to Get Back in Shape After 30 Years Off, now 38 years off, on the trombone. The question is, why I play the trombone in the first place. So here's a little snippet from the introduction to Series 1.
Playing the trombone has been the greatest influencing factor that has guided my life. The first question is, why in the world did I choose to play the trombone? Well, when I was 2 years old, living in Appleton, Wisconsin, I stepped out onto the porch one evening at about 10 p.m. to greet my grandma, who had just come from Denver. It was snowing, and there was lots of snow all over the ground. Well, my grandma reached in her purse, pulled out a package, and gave me a welcoming gift. And it was a little toy trombone made out of metal. That's what they were made out of back in those days. I have no idea why she gave me a toy trombone. Maybe it was because my grandpa, who was also standing in the snow at the door, was a trumpet player. My dad was a violinist and still is a violinist. My mom was a pianist, and my grandma played pretty good piano herself. Maybe she thought I should be a trombone player. Who knows? In any case, that trombone must have really stuck in my mind, because when it came time for me to choose an instrument to play, I chose the trombone. I chose the trombone in the 4th grade and began with trombone lessons from Ronald Rocco in the 5th grade. Then I almost died of nephritis, which was kidney failure, after a severe bout with the Asian flu, which was going around. 12 out of the 14 patients with nephritis in Monroe Hospital at the time died. Only my childhood sweetheart, when we were 5 years old, Cheryl Miller, and I survived. After 2 weeks in the hospital, I went home and had to stay home, mostly in bed and on the couch, for at least 2 or 3 months. I had to finish the last 2 months of 5th grade at home. Luckily, my wonderful 5th grade teacher, Mrs. DeVoe, came to the house a couple of times and helped me finish the class for the year. My fabulous mom helped me get through the 5th grade. She was a magnificent teacher, and later she got a full-time position teaching French and English at Broadhead High School. She actually was my French teacher. Her tutelage at home during this sickness taught me how to study, how to memorize data, how to sort things out, and much, much more. She really put me ahead of the curve. I persevered with the trombone and loved my lessons from Mr. Rocco. He was a great trumpet player and a great teacher. In the 7th grade, I played in the Broadhead grade school band, and there I got my first conducting opportunity when Mr. Rocco asked if anyone wanted to try to conduct the band. Well, I was afraid to volunteer, so my standmate Lenny Speth raised his hand and said, "Mike Gibson wants to try." That's how I got my start as a conductor. It was thrilling, and I loved it.
I have about 10 lessons in season 1 that are still being edited, so keep your eye out for those. They will be labeled season 1 lesson 1, so it'll be S1 L1, and the next one's going to be S1 L2, because I do have 2 lessons online so far, and they are lesson 1 part 1 and lesson 1 part 2. So that's all I have out there right now, but I do have probably 10 more in the can, back from when I was recording in my office in Cupertino, California. I watched my first lesson, part 1 and part 2, and it helped me tremendously for now getting back into doing all of this. So that started about 2 months ago, and getting back into shape is pretty much the same now as it was back in 2018. You've got to do pretty much the same things and get back to the basics. And basically all it amounts to, in addition to learning all of this procedures that I'm telling you to do, is to spend the time to practice. You must practice. In the new series, I will be showing you in much more photographs and even fun cartoons from my very close friend Maury Turner, who has passed away a few years ago. But Maury and I did hundreds of concerts together where we would choose a person, a kid, usually these were children's concerts, choose a child to come up and conduct the orchestra, and he would be right there, right beside him, drawing a cartoon of them, and then give them the cartoon when they got done conducting. So, Maury and I did so many concerts with the Bay Area Little Symphony and then the Silicon Valley Symphony. That's why I wasn't playing the trombone. I was conducting orchestra, doing children's concerts, I was conducting church choirs, all of those years. So there's no way to really practice and do all of that in addition. So that's why I got out of shape in the first place. So I have another quick interruption to tell you a little bit about my great friend Maury Turner. Maury and I spent many hours in his studio in Oakland working on cartoons for Peter and the Wolf, and later on Stravinsky's The Soldier's Tale, and we had a wonderful time doing it. We did so many children's concerts together and so many other large concerts, and I'd like to show you a video about the introduction to Musica. This shows Maury in action and many of his wonderful cartoons and will help you tell the story. Maury gave me his permission to use any of his cartoons to help people enjoy music, have all colors of people getting along together, and boost the appreciation of music. I made this introduction to Musica with my great friend James Carter, who was the concertmaster of the Oakland Symphony, very fine at that time. He was the concertmaster of the Oakland Symphony, and he was the concertmaster of the Bay Area Little Symphony. After we did the magnificent Pays concert, which is Performing Arts for Youth Society, Jim and I had to rent a reel-to-reel, one of those real old video machines, to make this Musica introduction. And we sat in my living room in Hayward, and it took forever, and it was just completely very difficult. Things were much more difficult back in those days to do anything video. So, check this thing out.
Hello, this is James Carter, introducing Musica. Musica is a fine new series of high-tech multimedia productions designed to excite, educate, and turn on audiences of all ages to the limitless powers of music. Musica presents its innovative imagery series, educational programs conducted by Michael Gibson, renowned conductor of children's concerts. Music director of Symphony of the Bay and Bay Area Little Symphony, Gibson is known to light up audiences with everything from Strauss to Stravinsky. Symphony of the Bay features Maury Turner, internationally syndicated cartoonist of We Pals.
Isn't he fast? Isn't he wonderful?
Children scream in delight as his cartoons materialize before their eyes, live and on huge video monitors, during conducting lessons, and the ultimate, the chance to conduct the orchestra. Maury has illustrated Prokofiev's Peter and the Wolf, and the professional video staff of Musica has animated the cartoons with virtually no budget, donating their time for this film. The joy and dynamic response from each audience merely hints at the success possible with adequate support. We bring Stravinsky's Soldier's Tale right into schools and leave children and their teachers spellbound from the marvelous music, video mastery, and original text by James Carter, concertmaster. Respected recitalist and teacher, Carter is now co-director of Musica and host of Portraits in Music, our performance and interview series with the great artists. Musica concerts of Symphony of the Bay feature guest artists like Lawrence Venza, an opera singer who has been announcer, narrator, and vocal soloist with our orchestra. With proper funding, there is no end to the variety of programs Musica can present, in virtually any size ensemble. Maestro Gibson leads the children through instrument demonstrations, while Maury Turner ensures a lasting impression with cartoons depicting the intrigue of each musical story. Each member of Musica is dedicated to a standard of innovative excellence proven in concerts and the technical studio. Experts in video, audio, musical performance, writing, and computer enhancement have joined together compatibly. Every concert has been a financial and artistic success. Musica has always shown profit from our endeavors. Now we're expanding to fill a musical void on TV, to take our message nationwide, to expose the very fabric of music, so much a part of everyone. We offer fantastic investment opportunities, and also tax-deductible contributions. Resources are vital to a project of our size. Join the Musica team and see what we can do. This is James Carter for Musica.
Thank you very much for being such a wonderful audience, and we'll see you hopefully next year. Goodbye.
So, go back and check out Lesson 1, Part 1, and Lesson 1, Part 2 on my YouTube channel, which is Michael Paul Gibson, and you'll see all kinds of everything there in addition to the trombone lessons. I've done a lot of compositions with synthesizers and so forth. I've got a lot of orchestra concerts there, and you should find some interesting things. Anyhow, I'm going to start publishing now Series 2, S1, L1.